Welcome to Business Operations Week 4. This week, we will dive deep in operations and supply chain management. We will learn about operations and supply chain management. We will link it to other areas and we will learn the big picture. And also we will discuss the responsibilities of operation managers and the organization's value chain. By the end of this week, you will learn to describe how operations management fits into an organization's overall business system. You will be also able to discuss the critical decision areas for process management. You will describe the key areas of responsibilities of an operations manager, and you will be able to explain supply chain management and classify the primary and support activities that make up an organization's value chain. Let's first discuss the differences between projects and operations. Work in any organization or business is divided into two main categories: projects and operations. Projects are unique, temporary endeavors, but on the other hand, operations are permanent, and usually these are not unique endeavors or steps. They often repeat the same set of steps or the same process. Usually operations are linked to the organization's main purpose. For example, if we are manufacturing any type of home appliances, so we will have daily operations like distributing the products through the distribution chain. We will have some repetitive operations to produce the products that we are producing, but both projects and operations aim to optimize the resources that we are using. They both require thorough planning, executing, and controlling. So let me include some examples of projects: new construction, new software development. Let's discuss some examples of operations. And remember, operations are ongoing and repetitive, like building maintenance, software support, car maintenance. There's a nice saying that is really representative to the difference between projects and operations. They say, projects create a business, operations maintain the business. So for example, at Toyota, the research and development team might be working on a specific car make, which can transform into a hybrid, for example, vehicle. This sounds like a unique endeavor. It's not repetitive. It has timeline associated with the prototype development. So the development of a new hybrid vehicle is a project, but the production of a new hybrid vehicle is operations. It is critical to understand the differences between operations and projects. So, according to the PM book, the definition of a project is a temporary endeavor undertaken to create a unique project, service, or result. Projects are temporary and close down on the completion of the work they were chartered to deliver. On the other hand, operations in a business are ongoing, day-to-day functions, which perform repeat activities like manufacturing, supplying services, production operations, manufacturing, accounting operations, IT service management. These are all considered operational activities. These are permanent endeavors to produce long-term repetitive outputs. Operations management is our day-to-day tasks that we routinely deal with. Sometimes we deal with physical products or goods, and sometimes we provide service. And operations management is the management of the entire process that transforms inputs into outputs. Inputs like materials, like ingredients, like parts, like manpower, using tools like machines to produce outputs like goods and services. In the core of operations management, we will find that the improvement of the transformational processes, we can accomplish this through concepts like quality management, like Kanban, a total productive maintenance. And business operations are sets of business processes. And a business process is defined as a set of related structured activities and steps performed by your personnel or your employees using equipment and tools and techniques to achieve the objectives and goals of the business, like making profits, satisfying a business opportunity. And usually in processes, we use a workflow to explain the process in smaller steps. If we order something online from Amazon or any other online store, behind the simple click that we did is a full-fledged chain of steps, processes, and tasks until they fulfill your order and you receive the goods that you ordered. However, if Amazon, for example, starts a new fulfillment center, this is a project. And remember when we talked about business structure? Business structure provides the controls and the formal communication and responsibility framework to achieve the business strategy. And the business strategy is what the organization wants to accomplish. How we achieve the strategy? Through operations. And operations are the actual processes that we employ to get a certain result. So as I said, the business process is a set of related and structured activities performed by your employee or personnel using tools and techniques to transform inputs into outputs and achieve the objectives. And business processes like business operations have repetitive nature. And I love to think of business processes as components of the business operations. So, for example, business operations in manufacturing could include order processing, engineering, change control, product assembly, product line processes, quality assurance, maintenance. In the finance sector, this might include invoicing process, risk management process, and billing process. In the health sector, medical assessment process, drug approval, financial process. In the banking sector, we have customer onboarding process, credit check process, and risk assessment process. In travel, we have agent billing, trip booking, leave management process, business travel management process. In sales and marketing, we have product delivery process, product development process, and market research. So processes help the business to function in a way that's streamlined to improve productivity, efficiency, effectiveness. And these processes are specific to the field or the industry this business operates in. But we have to think of the big picture of the components of any business and how these components relate to each other. So our ultimate aim is getting the right product or provide the right service to the right customer segment at the right place, at the right price, and at the right time. At the core of the big picture is the strategy. And the strategy feeds the business strategies and tactics, feeds business system development, feeds operations execution, and feeds customer interactions and sales. So we start with a mission, vision, and corporate strategy, and we end with customer interaction and sales. Managers need to ensure that everything remains aligned to the mission, vision, and the corporate strategy. And when we have any deviation, we have to take some measures. These measures should be corrective and preventive. So we correct and realign everything, and we take preventive measures to make sure this will not happen in the future. And operations management has a significant and strategic role in the success of any business. So strategic operations management will affect all business functions, will affect the direction of the company, will affect the results, whether a short-term or a long-term horizon. And as our ultimate goal as businesses is to maximize profits, we will find that the operations manager has a strategic role to manage the costs so we can maximize the profits. So we need to think of the input costs. These are like the raw material, the labor, the time, the machinery. So when we think of labor costs, these are the humans who are doing the job. So we think of wages, vacations, leaves, incentives. And also we have processing costs. These are the costs associated with the processes that actually make the product or provide the service. And operations managers aim to have what we call cost leadership. So cost leadership happens when you have the lowest costs and you maintain your competitive position in the market. What are your responsibilities if you will work as an operations manager? Your responsibilities will be related to process management, will be related to product or service management, supply chain management, information technology based operational analysis. So operations managers assess the business operations and processes against the business plan and strategy, and think of the transformation of inputs into outputs through production processes or service providing processes like manufacturing, for example, interactions with clients. All the operations like manufacturing operations that's related to transforming raw materials and other resources into outputs or finished products that will be delivered to the customer. In the service sectors, we also have operations and processes that will help the business to deliver the service to the clients. And also we will have these transformational processes of resources into an end service. Your role as operations manager is to maintain the highest productivity of your business and achieve the most gain from the inputs and resources available to you, and also maintain the competitive advantage of the business. We need to reduce costs. We need to maintain the highest degree of quality standards based on the end goal of our business. We also need to employ tactical management. So while we are thinking of the long-term or the strategic direction of the business, we have also to maintain the short-term objectives. We need to make sure that all our policies and procedures are up to date. Because when we have out of date procedures, the efficiency of the processes will be affected. We might experience delays. We might experience a rework of products. We also need to maintain the connectivity between different components of our business. And we need to take decisions on a daily basis. But these decisions should be based on information and assessment that the IT functions of the business will provide us. We need to make sure that our processes have a variety of activities that help in achieving the objectives. We need to make sure that the steps in each process and the procedure contributes to the business objective to achieve a desired result. And these steps are optimized, and we have a management structure that facilitates this optimization process. We might need to redesign certain processes. We might need to hire specialized human resources. And we need to make sure that our activities are running smoothly. And we are frequently analyzing these processes and these operations to identify possible areas for improvement. And we have the tools that allow us to assess and monitor different processes. So operations managers contribute to financial savings by standardizing the processes and increasing the effectiveness and efficiency. We will avoid wasting resources or duplicating the effort. And also we will gain time savings by increasing productivity, by employing cost-effective tools and techniques. And also we will maintain transparency. When we have standardized procedures, we will remove any steps that are ambiguous. And nowadays, IT plays a significant role in standardizing the workflow and the procedures. In some businesses, IT plays a reactive role. So whenever we have a problem, we introduce technological advances to solve the problem. But in some businesses, successful businesses, the technology have an active role in finding opportunities for improvements, by proposing changes that will increase the efficiency of a process and lower the margins of errors. And also, technology helps in creating uniformity across different business units. And also, operations management will help us to be adaptable. So we have a more flexible and adaptable management system. And this will help us to increase the revenue. And also this will lead to greater employee satisfaction, because we will introduce more innovative tools, more interesting jobs for them to do. And also technology advances helps operations managers to measure and assess the effectiveness and efficiency of each process. So these tools make it easier for the operation manager to measure the outcomes of certain steps, certain procedures, certain processes, and this will enable them to take the right decisions to solve problems or improve these processes. And also it will help us to manage risks. So these streamlined processes will have fewer human errors or fraud or defects. And here we need to discuss organization's value chain. And there is a difference between the organization's value chain and the organization supply chain. Michael Porter introduced so many concepts in the field of management. And one of his concepts that he introduced is value chain. His approach was to analyze value-adding activities, starting with the inputs, like raw materials, for example, and ending with the final result or the output, like good or service, and the delivery of these goods and services to the customer. And he defined 9 activities, 9 value activities, value-adding activities in his value chain. And later, another activity or another dimension was added, which is profit. And profit is defined as the difference between the value chain's total value, which is the value of the product to the customer, that's the price that they are willing to pay for that product or the service, and the total cost of producing this product or providing this service. And the total cost is the total costs that are in the value chain 9 activities that Porter identified. These activities that Porter identified, some of them have a direct impact on the profitability of the company. These are directly involved in the production and selling of the actual product. And some other activities are considered secondary. These are support activities, and their main purpose is to coordinate different functions and support the primary activities. So the value chain are those main activity areas that add value to the customer. And our role as operations managers is to take decisions that contribute positively to the overall value of the products or the services. And these decisions are related to cost efficiencies or cost leadership, as I said, the quality standards, customization, the uniqueness of our products and services, the high performance standards. So we ask ourselves, what shall we do to provide the maximum benefit to our clients or customers? So we have these activities that it will be difficult for our competitors to duplicate, and it will be our competitive advantage.